So the music's working today.
It's bopping.
Don't you like it?
Oh, I love it. I love this music. This
music.
intro.
I think I turned it off.
It's gone now?
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, I can't hear it. But
who knows?
I love the intro music that we have for it. I think it's fantastic. But good morning.
Good morning to you.
We are live. It's morning. It's 8.
It's
It's a little after 8.
I have a big time question for you.
What's that?
What if you can only use one, choose one, and you had to use it for most things in your life, and a hybrid option is not available? Okay. Are you going with a fork or a spoon?
Spoon.
Explain your reasoning.
Wow, I wasn't ready for this start. I think you get more done with a spoon. It's more productive.
You're not wrong.
You can kind of cut with the spoon. It kind of works. You can't really hold stuff as well though. But I think. What about you? Fork or spoon, Jonathan?
Totally a spoon.
Okay, good.
No question about it.
I'm not alone on this then.
No, you're not.
I
was just making sure you're normal.
Well, that's debatable.
It still is, but we're one spoon closer to knowing.
You're darn right. So where do you want to start this morning?
Well, right here.
Right here. We made it. We got going. How is your morning? It's a little cold out there.
A little bit cold.
It's a little chilly.
It's -13 outside and it's 59 degrees in my office.
It's
exciting.
It's definitely
thrilling.
It's definitely chilly.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
How about your morning?
It was.
How are you feeling about your morning?
Wasn't bad. I made it. I'm here.
You're here.
I got my energy drink rolling. I'm feeling it.
He is going to ghost us all. We have some big time news. I don't know what it is, but we got big time news.
We got some stuff. It's going to be great.
One, that there's going to be a formal, we teased this a little bit on Tuesday, but there's going to be a formal press release. It's probably coming out today. That we're announcing next Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. As long as everything holds true.
A week out, it looks good.
Yeah. We're going to be doing a live stream with Charles Hofer and 2 other people that are experts.
I'm excited.
Me too. It's going to be interesting. This is going to be it's going to be live. So you will have the opportunity to watch, chime in, and ask your questions. And as long as they're decent questions, we'll do our best to get them answered. Can't promise every question will be. If you ask what kind of toothpaste that I like, I probably won't answer.
Unfortunately.
But if it's something that's very applicable and not something that's already been covered, good chance we'll be able to get that question asked for you of the people on that live stream. So really excited about this. I think it's going to be a huge development for the Dunseith Debacle.
Can we announce who they are?
Go ahead, buddy.
We good for that?
Spill the beans.
All right. So on next Thursday's live podcast that we're going to have, it's going to be, like Jonathan said, it's going to be 6 to 8. 2 experts are going to be joining.
2 experts.
And Charles Hofer and us. Yeah. And is Kent Weston going to be live as well, or is he going to be?
Not sure.
That's no guarantees yet. Okay. But anyways, we have Ed Pearson, and he leads the Foundation for Aviation Safety. He was a senior manager at Boeing 737 factory and flight operations senior manager in Boeing's flight test and evaluation. He did serve 30 years in the military, and he's working with the Pentagon and State Department in his military career.
First off, isn't the Pentagon just one of those buildings that is just amazing?
The feat of it, yeah.
I would love to have a week tour of the Pentagon.
That would be incredible. That would be fun.
The way that obviously it has the weird shape because it's a Pentagon.
This is true.
Okay, but then the way that they have layers of the buildings.
Oh, for sure.
All the way around, and how they're all interconnected.
Yeah,
that part is just crazy.
Not to mention, it's like the centerpiece of American bureaucracy and military. But aside from that, the construction of it is ridiculously incredible.
Yeah.
But anyways,
not very.
Ed Pearson, he's also testified multiple times to Congress as a whistleblower in a lot of things that he's dealt with over his career. So he has a lot of Boeing and military experience. Yeah. Also with Ed and Charles, we're going to have Joe Jacobson. He held decades of engineering roles at the FAA and Boeing. He works closely with Congress for the Aviation Certification Safety and Accountability Act, the ACSAA, and he was an expert witness for the Senate on the Boeing 737 MAX crashes as he collaborates with victims' families and other safety advocacy groups. So both of these guys, Charles Hofer has reached out to. He has developed a relationship with them, and they have luckily looked at what is going on up in Dunseith, and they
are willing to comment on it.
Yeah. And so they're going to be on next Thursday evening, 6 to 8. First hour is going to be us kind of talking with them, getting their take on everything. Then that second hour is when we're going to start doing a lot of the questioning, right? Or when that live Q&A portion is going to
There's going to be a live Q&A with other people that might be on the stream.
Yep.
And then we'll also be asking questions of the audience. That's you.
Anybody out there
that's interested in the Dunseith debacle.
Yeah, so be wary. That's going to be coming out later today at some point, and have that all set in stone, and we'll start getting some stuff up and getting people ready for it.
Also, people have been asking, when's the next episode of the Dunseith debacle coming out? Honestly, any day. Yes. I think that's the safest answer now.
That's the best bet. Yeah.
I can't give a firm date right now, but it's in the works.
It's in production.
Should be any day that comes out. So
it will. I think it's safe to say it will be out before next Thursday.
It's supposed to be.
That I think, yeah. That's the plan. If it plays out, nothing's guaranteed in life, but we're working on that.
Taxes, and even that,
and death.
Death is guaranteed. Well, it depends on if you believe in a rapture.
I guess this is true. That's a whole different topic.
You want to go philosophical this morning?
Do you? Do you want to go down that hole, Jonathan?
I mean, I don't know.
Do you want to stand on that soapbox and go?
I'm interested in going anywhere this morning. Taxes.
Yeah.
I mean, in North Dakota, the income tax could go away.
It's possible.
So that would no longer be guaranteed.
There's still federal taxes.
They tried to get, but we're going through them, okay? They were trying to get rid of property taxes.
They tried. Yeah. Gosh, that'd be wild. What if there were no taxes?
And they're looking at potentially still revamping that.
Rework.
So at least for homeowners, primary residents, there's a chance that you could get rid of taxes, property tax. Sales tax not going anywhere. That's there.
But Montana doesn't have sales tax.
Yeah, but in North Dakota, we're going to have sales tax for a while. Federal tax, could there be enough tariffs put out in the world? And could Elon and Vivek do so well with Doge that federal taxes for like everyday people get reduced substantially?
Possibly.
Probably not.
I doubt it.
I mean, it could get reduced.
Yeah, it definitely. I would expect that.
I wouldn't expect it right away.
I would expect at least reduction.
When? How many years?
By the end of his term. How about that?
if Elon and Vivek are successful by the end of Trump's term,
there will
expect some type of reduction in taxes.
I think. I hope that's a safe statement.
Dude,
if it's not, that'd be a depressing and disappointing presidency. I think.
Really?
Just broadly, if Trump didn't lower taxes, would that be? I think that would be a disappointment.
I don't know that I went into this presidency with the expectation
of lower taxes.
No, I think
better economy.
I think better economy.
That's fair then.
And I would want to be.
How about more fair taxes? That's never.
I would be looking for a balanced budget.
I've been looking for that my whole life.
Yeah, but I'm saying I would be.
Okay, not technically, but
I would be
conscious life.
You have a lot to say this morning. I'd be more interested in a balanced budget than reduced taxes.
I actually would too. Balanced, but personally on my federal wish list, a balanced budget is my top priority. If I could get anything, it would
not
be
with
that.
Raising taxes, with the current standards that are now.
I think by cutting the budget and slashing some areas, it should be able to be done.
Yeah.
If it could be done 25 years ago, it can be done now.
There you go. That's probably going to be in a column coming out sometime soon.
It might be something with tariffs at least next couple weeks.
There you go.
Check. But before that, I do have something that's going to be coming out either tonight or tomorrow.
Okay.
It's going to be a follow-up to last week's article.
Wow.
This one's talking about Doug Burgum and his potential role with the Department of Interior and how that's going to play out. Going to have that either
the best Department of Interior dude ever?
Never know. Could be. I think Bruce Babbitt would put an argument up for it.
Good old Bruce.
Darn tootin', old governor of Arizona, was Department of Interior Secretary for 8 years.
Interesting.
Thomas Klepp from North Dakota, if you've read the first article, he was the Interior Secretary.
I've heard a lot about that name.
Yeah. There's some options out there, but I think Burgum could he has an opportunity right now to step into the role in a transformative period in it, especially because he being in North Dakota and he has a strong sense of, I don't want to say conservatism for national parks and for federal lands. He's obviously been a big proponent of the Theodore Roosevelt National Park and the Theodore Roosevelt Library that's being produced out there.
Yeah, is that a good thing?
That can be argued. That's a different topic for a different day. Do I like it? Yes. Again, different topic for a different day.
Okay.
I think Burgum has the tough act of being able to balance preserving federal lands and, if not expanding, at least not reducing national parks in their current state, and also with balancing that with the extent of federal drilling on of energy drilling on federal lands and energy production that's used off federal lands. That's something that's going to be expanded on the next 4 years, and he's going to be the one that's going to be dealing with a lot of the balancing of that. So I look forward to it.
It's crazy.
It is.
So one thing that happened recently is that
we woke up.
Dude, you are on a different level today.
I don't know. I'm having a fun. I didn't sleep well last night, and I chugged like half this energy drink in the last 4 minutes.
So we don't even have the real Kyler today.
This is fun, Kyler.
Anyways, what happened recently is that there was an article put out yesterday that there's 7.8 million needed for replacement of Capitol windows.
I saw that.
Is that crazy?
That is kind of why I would never have expected. Okay. You look at I guess when you look at
when you actually begin to reason it all, it makes sense.
It does, yeah. It was not expected number, but you look at the Capitol building, there's like 1,000 windows on that thing.
Well, actually, you're wrong.
How many are there?
There's not 1,000.
What?
There's 818.
Wow, they have it in the article.
21-story building.
It's that big.
818 windows.
And
North Dakota legislator may be asked to provide more than $4 million to replace the windows, with the total project costing nearly twice that amount.
Jeepers.
Members of the North Dakota Historical Society debated between wood replica, steel, and aluminum window fixtures, but ultimately decided on the wood replica to remain historically consistent.
They want to make it look like it at least consistent with how it's looked the whole time.
Tom Job, which is a phenomenal name, Facility Physical Plant Director of the Facility Management Division for the Office of Management and Budget. That's what's wrong with bureaucracy, because who needs a title like that? It is the wood replica that matches what was originally put in the building.
That's cool. So it's the same wood that they originally used. Well, it's not the exact same trees, but it's the same kind of wood as was originally used when the Capitol was first made. Do you know why the Capitol was placed where it was?
Tell me.
Oh, this is a fun little story. I'm sure. Okay. So back when it was first built, way back over 100 years ago, the Capitol was built on top of the hill north of downtown Bismarck, because it's a little ways away from downtown. And people were confused as to why they were doing that. And
it's like half a mile away from downtown.
But the 1800s, that's a bit of a distance from your Capitol building to the rest of downtown. Okay. Nothing was out there.
I guess I don't know where the original downtown is. I only know where the expanded out version is.
Okay, I guess the center of that. Take what?
Sure.
Let's go with it. Yeah, we'll go with that. It's Bismarck, not Minot. So the Capitol was placed effectively on the hill where it is in plans for the expansion of Bismarck, because it was supposed to be this capital city of at least North Dakota. But at the time when it was created, there was a possibility that that North and South Dakota would have been admitted to the Union as one single state.
Okay,
and Bismarck was the chosen capital.
Right, because that makes sense for both states. Mm-hmm. But if that wasn't the case, would Minot have had a chance to be the capital, or Washburn?
Possibly. I won't say no, because especially in South Dakota, you look at something like Pierre, South Dakota, being a lot more centrally located, but it also has like 10,000 people for its population. So it's very possible that they could have ended up trying something like that. I don't.
Would if Washburn was the capital, would that have driven population to there? I mean, obviously it would a little bit, but I mean, would it have been a 40,000 person town?
Yeah, it could have like taken the place of what Mandan's become.
Yeah,
It could maybe be like a 25,000 person.
You're just shooting from the hip right now.
Yeah, this is pure speculation. This is trying to off the top of my head.
That's an interesting conversation right there.
It is just trying to think of what Washburn could have been had it been named capital in the late 1800s when North.
Yeah.
So yeah, North Dakota is in this timeline. Is Bismarck even a thing then?
It is because of the highway.
I-94.
Yeah.
When did that become created?
I don't know, but eventually it would pop up.
But on the Missouri River, there's going to be something there regardless too.
Yeah,
that's a very central trading point too. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's there regardless. But also Washburn's on the Missouri River.
Yeah.
So I think that could definitely drive its population up in this alternate timeline we've created here.
Interesting. Okay. Continue. On the hill.
Yeah.
There's a Capitol building.
Yeah, they built it in plans that this is how the city would grow. They wanted the city to grow up and around and become bigger, and so it would take and encompass this Capitol building into what would eventually become the center of the city. And you look 150 years later, and they've done a great job at that with as much as Bismarck has expanded.
Very interesting. So Tom Job said he hopes the legislature will allocate the money for the project using its emergency clause, which would require a 2/3 majority vote in each chamber and would make the funds available as soon as the bill is filed with the Secretary of State's office instead of waiting for the new budget to take effect. Lieutenant Governor Tammy Miller said that would be great not to miss out on the season next summer. That emergency clause would be a great avenue if possible.
Why is it an emergency? I'm not saying it's not necessary to do it next summer, but why does it need to be done next summer versus like 2 years from now?
Job said what about his last name is Job?
Could be.
Said new windows could increase the building's heating and cooling efficiency by 30 to 40%.
Okay, so that would help. I guess I see the logic.
Yeah, but my question, and we've asked the same question for Minot City stuff, is how do these big time deals? Well, I feel like 8 million is big time. 7.8 million is a big time. How do they become emergencies?
Yeah, that's also like it's in relevance to North Dakota. That's a big number.
And you knew there was windows, and there wasn't like an atomic bomb that went off over there. Like we knew 2 years ago that
these windows were becoming less and less efficient.
Right. That could have been put on a list back then, or it could wait till next.
And that's I guess my whole thought with it is it's something that, like you said, it couldn't have just found out that these windows are less energy, 30 to 40% less energy efficient. I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like it doesn't need to be an emergency. Like it's done next summer. It could be done over the next like 2-3 years.
Right. It could be done. It could be delayed one summer because they want it to be done in one summer.
Okay.
Yeah, because they just want to wait till they don't want to wait till the budget's actually finalized. If they did, they probably wouldn't be able to get it done this summer. They'd have to wait till next summer.
Sure.
Which you already waited 2 years, so why can't you wait?
Exactly. 3? What's wrong with another? I guess that's
These are
my
the
thing.
Big time questions that need to be asked.
Why does it specifically need to be done next summer, other than just they want it to be done?
If you want to know the answer to that, ask Tom.
Tom down in Bismarck. Daily Monitor article. Great read.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go from there? You want to talk about the Higher Education Board, what they kind of were talking about?
Yeah.
Same kind of little thing from the Board of Higher Education. Article from the North Dakota Monitor. I think, was it yesterday it came out? It looks like it's December 11th. Today's the 12th. So, yeah, they were talking about North Dakota Higher Education Board is going through a painstaking process of updating their tenure policies, covering such details as the frequency of faculty reviews. So they're kind of going over, a lot of this is in summary here, they're kind of going over their tenure policies and how they're going to establish more of a shift in that. I think they ended up unanimously approving changes to the language of tenure policies to emphasize more of like the expectation of employment rather than guaranteeing it as a right.
Yeah, and I believe Kevin Black, formerly of mine, I believe, said we have to look at modernizing our employment practices I think if you were to pull just about any North Dakotan and ask if any taxpayer-funded job that an individual has a right to indefinite employment, I don't think you're getting a whole lot more favorable responses.
I definitely agree with that statement.
I mean, after all, we kind of had that with the legislature, and they threw term limits on them.
Exactly. So lo and behold, why should the tenured staff of the government have a different, in this case, right to having that position if they're no longer competent at it?
He did proceed to say, I definitely think that the word expectation is much more appropriate. If you're following state board policy and institutional policy and you're serving your students and you're in your community in a positive way, absolutely you should have the expectation that your contract is continuous, which is purely an expectation, not a guarantee.
It's I think that's a lot smoother of a transitionary period or not a transitionary, smoother of a system for North Dakota. I agree with the sentiment that a lot of people don't necessarily want people in those positions to be guaranteed to keep them. I don't want just a mass exodus of people in those positions, but I feel like there need to be certain expectations set for them that I think this is more in line with.
So, yeah, it gets interesting, though. Black is concerned about clarity on the circumstances that would trigger a review of tenured faculty members seen as underperforming. The university's system policy requires a review of tenured faculty every 5 years. Black suggested cutting that to 3 years. He feels like 5 years is just too long to go between full-blown post-tenure reviews. But then Casey Ryan said that would be bad. It would create a backlog, and we have to avoid red tape. This would be a huge red tape measure, which is interesting.
I can see in that one specific clause it might be a little.
So we have that many tenured employees in the universe or in North Dakota?
I don't know if it would happen. I think it's more raising the possibility of this could be a thing.
Come on.
I was just going to say, you want spicy Kyler this morning. I think it might be being done as a scare tactic and promotion of getting it not passed.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And
I think it's just something you had to come up with to counterbalance something.
Because technically it's a possibility. So,
Black agreed to keep the 5-year requirement with the understanding that the board will refine. What's wrong with you today?
5 years.
With the understanding that the board will refine its policy on what might trigger a post-tenure review within the 5-year time frame and ensure that the policy is uniform across the 11 college system. And so to add on that, okay, faculty are reviewed annually, though it's not as a rigorous post-tenure review.
Okay.
As rigorous as a post-tenure review.
Which I suppose that makes sense. They're going to have their annual employee kind of review. Good. Yeah. Most places.
Still think 3 years would be fine.
I don't see what the issue would be with that. Or absolute worst case, why couldn't you hire one other person to help with that process? It has there's 11 schools in the college system that they're talking about.
So you've heard from Kyler, make government bigger. Like, that's what he's about.
Gosh, I guess I just advocated for that, didn't I? Well, let me further that point then. I don't like that I did that, but I just did, and I can't take it back. So I'm going to go further with it. And
he created a hole. He's going to dive in now.
I'm going to bury myself in it. Yeah. But if also, so there's 11 colleges. If there's that many tenured professors, it takes you where you think it's going to be a backlog system. If you go from 5 to 3 years, and you need to hire.
I have an easy way out for you on this one.
What is it?
It's your expectations that you're going to get rid of a lot of employees.
There's a possibility.
Yeah. So you're going to hire one person, and most likely through those reviews, they're going to be like, you're no longer tenured.
It'll be the Doge of the North Dakota university system.
Yeah.
See,
that's what
you hire one to get rid of. Man, I'm not advocating for firing college professors. I apologize.
I don't know what we're doing today.
Sounds like that's not the goal.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's just trying to talk. Actually, you were going somewhere, and I interrupted you.
I think we're good with where we went down
so you threw out this article. Okay,
what was it that I sent? I sent you a couple.
New Jersey can't simply shoot down mysterious drones.
I love. Did you see that? The stories that there's a bunch of like drones flying over New Jersey and New York. Yeah,
yes, and where are they from? Iran or not?
It doesn't. Okay, how about this? The Pentagon has come out saying that that's false claim, and whatever congressman said that, it was apparently
Wrong.
less than true. But also that's coming from the Pentagon, so take that with a
Which
extremely
layer?
an extremely hefty grain of salt. So
Yeah.
it certainly could be. But
break down this. New Jersey can't simply shoot down mysterious drones.
Well, yeah, it's New Jersey. Come on, they don't like you to have guns. But aside from that, there's a bunch of drones that have been spotted flying all over upstate New Jersey and around New York City. Speaking the last couple days, the FBI have been getting reports. Apparently, over 3,000 reports of drones in the past couple days, or the past month, just in December alone. They're not sure where it's coming from, and so New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, when asked on situations that they can do, one of them, obviously, people suggested shooting it. They simply can't shoot them down, unfortunately. They don't know.
Did he give a reason?
There's FAA situations that happen with that, and also it wouldn't be. He said he's open to it, but it's not something that
he said that the federal government has the authority to do it.
They do, yeah. And I was just getting to his quote here. He wouldn't be opposed to it. Let's put it that way. But it's illegal under federal law to shoot at an aircraft, so citizens shouldn't try it by any means.
Okay, so that's more what he's getting at.
Yeah. There's the
no,
actual
that would be
quote
epic.
here. If you just have everyone out with their shotgun blast, you know that meme where there's it's like those trailer park people that it's like a couple redneck dudes. It's a picture of a drone, and he's just launching a beer bottle up at it. It'd be like that, but everyone with shotguns.
Oh man, Kyler, I don't know if I like you on a half night's sleep with Ghost.
This kick is today.
Yes.
Yeah, this is fun.
That's it's something for sure.
I love it.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I hope everyone else is too. But regardless, I think it is crazy because clearly, if there's this much of it, it has to be something more than just a guy flying his drone around New Jersey. There's
who knows?
Could it be the mafia? Is it the Sopranos? Are they like gauging stuff out?
So I don't know that it is Iran or not, but wouldn't it be more likely that it was than it would be the mafia?
Probably.
If it was Iran, is the government going to be like, yeah?
Oh, they would never say. No, if it was Iran, they'd never admit it was Iran until after the fact.
Yeah.
So that's
just like the balloon that flew through the U.S.
It wasn't China's till
we got it. Oh yeah, that was
Chinese.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh yeah, they were spying on us the whole time.
Yeah. It went over our most highly technical and classified military bases in the middle of our country where no one lives like us.
Yeah.
And it wasn't coincidental. It's crazy.
Unbelievable.
Gosh, I remember when that happened. That was funny.
It wasn't that long ago, buddy.
It wasn't. It was like a year or two.
You weren't even like 14.
I wasn't.
You weren't even like 8.
I was a big boy then.
Yes, you were.
I was. Now we're looking at drones instead. Because I think they said the claim was like there's an Iranian mothership sitting off the East Coast launching them off. And I mean, it's not like the most far-fetched thing ever. It's not like that's not what we would do.
That's where every conspiracy starts right there.
Darn right. Yeah, I know. We can't dig into that hole. The Pentagon says it's not happening, so it's not happening.
They know best.
Of course, they're the Pentagon. They would never lie to us.
Since mid-November, large drones of uncertain origin have been repeatedly spotted in the sky at night over central and northern New Jersey, including near a military installation.
So, what do you think, huh? Or
so dumb.
What if it's like what if it's us?
What if
it's our drones? It's
we're
like
spying on
UND
ourselves?
drones, and they're bringing them down there.
So rather than
Honestly,
throwing them on a truck to transport them across the U.S., now they're flying them.
Yeah. But actually, real quick, I might have raised this point before. Have you ever driven past Grand Forks at night?
I think you have mentioned this before.
Okay, yeah, because I was driving past there down to Fargo one night, and the whole skyline was lit up from drones that were flying in the air from the Air Force Base. It was incredible.
That can't be every night.
I assume it can't be. I have
done it at night, and I have not seen that.
No, it seemed very out of the ordinary. It couldn't. If it was normal, I would be shocked. If you're from Grand Forks and you consume this podcast and that's a normal thing, please let me know, because I can't imagine it is.
Right. Agreed. Be careful on your consumption of this podcast today. Yeah. State and local officials convened at a closed-door meeting Wednesday morning at the New Jersey State Police Headquarters with representatives from the Department of Homeland Security to address the matter. Unclear who is operating the drones, which is just crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess if you never take it down, then you're probably going to have difficulty figuring that out.
You're never going to find out. Like, they're kind of just they're looking at it through like binoculars, and like, I wonder who that drone
They
could
probably
be.
have their own drone right next to it.
That's true. Yeah, because have you seen some of that drone-to-drone warfare in like the Ukraine? That stuff's wild. They'll put like sticks and like rods on the drones, and they'll like go over trying to like ram each other.
So it's
in
like
the sky.
jousting.
It's
jousting with drones.
It's ridiculous.
That
And they'll
could
try to like
actually be
crash
fun.
into each other.
We should get 2 drones and joust.
Yeah, we'll do jousting instead of strapping other stuff to them.
Yeah,
And
that'd be a good
we
idea.
don't need to do that. That's the bad part of
that
drone
was,
warfare.
That was never the point of
Drone
this.
warfare is bad. Yeah, we're just gonna have a fun little experiment.
We were always going to just joust.
Yes, we're just crashing them into each other.
At this time, according to the FBI, there are no known specific or credible threats relating to these sightings. So I wonder, there's no credible threats. I wonder if there's any incredible threats.
There's got to be a ton of those. Everybody that saw one,
No. You don't get my pun.
Incredible. Yeah, it's incredible.
It'd be uncredible if it was not true.
Of course, no, I got what you're saying, but I love puns. You know I do.
Yeah. So
But
very interesting.
I think it. Yeah. No, anyways, we'll keep going.
We'll keep going.
We don't need to dive into that more.
Yep.
Than we need to.
You get to take us to the next topic.
Do you want to go to the New York Post article? I
don't know that I
threw in
do.
there? Yeah, we don't need to talk about that one. Before we end and wrap this fantastic stream up, so we'll go into it at least. We'll touch the surface of it. There was an article in the New York Post
He has to.
from a couple days ago.
Let's not do it. He's like, no, we're going. We're going here.
What else do you want to talk about then?
We're going to the New York Post
it's
one
happening now. So I saw this yesterday afternoon. It came out on the 9th. Apparently in West Fargo there was a recent bust of a brutal gang member that is residing there. They're called the Tren de Aragua, and apparently they're based out of Central America, roughly. And they pulled him over. He was 25. He was apparently hacking ATMs and stealing cash, putting a virus in them. And now it's the first confirmation that there are people of this gang in North Dakota. And we are, I love how the article has to point out that we're the 4th least populous state.
I mean, what do we do to deserve that shout out?
That's like, why is it relevant to just throw that in there? Especially considering it's not like we're the only state that has it. This is there's at least 17 states that have had arrest of someone that's confirmed in that.
Our vote in the Senate matters just as much as California's vote in the Senate. Okay?
It does.
So
they have a lot more congressmen, though.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about the Senate.
Yeah, you're right. I agreed with that. You're right.
Right. That's all that matters.
Exactly. It really is. The Senate has a ton of power comparatively.
Oh, yeah.
It holds the power to confirm appointments in the cabinet, obviously. Not like that. The House has effectively no say on that. The Senate holds the full power of impeachment. Obviously, the House instigates it and allows it to progress. But if someone's actually impeached, it is because the Senate said so. And it just shows the true power the Senate really holds there.
No, they hold a lot of power. Yeah, you get the feeling of the House being very secondary.
It really feels like it. And
I don't know that it was intended that way in the beginning.
Not at all.
But because of the equal playing field that the Senate creates, it has done that way. I think the House was intended to hold more power.
It was. It was definitely supposed to be more powerful check than I think it's now became. And another thing that's risen and has replaced, I think, some of the power it used to hold is the Supreme Court nowadays too. That was never something that was originally designed in the Constitution. I personally, I'm not advocating for any kind of removal or
he wants it to be doubled.
Supreme Court. No, I think 9 is a great number and should stay there.
7 would have been better.
I think 7. We used to have 7 at one point.
Yeah, that would have been better.
Till FDR in the 30s expanded it. But I agree.
Such an FDR move.
It was, wasn't it? But aside from that, I think they've come and taken, for better or worse, a lot of that void that the House Representatives originally had. Like, obviously, the judicial system was created in the Constitution as a check and a balance on the legislative and the executive branches, but the Supreme Court itself was never intended to, I think, what do I know? But I think it was never intended to have the kind of power it does today. Right. And obviously it's been expanded multiple times since its inception, so take that as you will.
Take that, New York Post.
Exactly. Yeah, we've gone off that.
But good old West Fargo Police Chief Pete Nielsen, he got shouted out there in the New York Post. Yeah. When you have someone that comes into your community and steals $150,000, that's an illegal alien, and then leaves, one would think the feds would step in and say, I'm going to take this one. What a quote.
That's a great quote. That's a great quote.
If you're going to get quoted, make that your quote,
That is great. Yeah, if you have like one quote when you're a police chief of a small town in North Dakota that's going to go national, that's it. That is it. That's how you want it. I don't know if he was intentional with like his forethought of that.
Is so
if he was just shooting from the hip, but that is a gold one. Apparently, ICE has already taken him into custody. So,
well done.
He has
been iced,
detained with ICE, and he's. Apparently, it's also this is the same gang. So if you remember hearing about those apartment complex takeovers in Colorado or however that played out, this is that same gang. So, Dad, if you're watching, I'm sure you love to hear that. And
making its way through the cold states.
They're coming further north.
Maybe they got intentionally caught. Winter's coming.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, man, this sucks. I want to go home. The gang won't let him go home. So he's like, this is the only way I'm going to get sent home.
Oh man.
Oh jeez.
That's probably not true, by the way.
No, not at all. This is complete. Yeah, this is us. It's reckless speculation on a Thursday morning here. Oh shoot.
Kyler.
Hi, John.
Wednesday night. Get sleep.
I know. This didn't happen last night. I was laying in bed at like 1:15, and I'm like, well, here we go.
Oh, man.
It was fun. We're here.
Very interesting. They have been to California, Nevada, Montana, North Dakota, Wyoming, Colorado, Texas, Louisiana, Wisconsin, Illinois, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, Virginia, New York, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware?
Wow.
Can't tell.
At least on the map.
Yeah. I think I did it all in one breath.
You did great, Jonathan.
Yeah,
the star man himself. It's just weird if you look at this kind of little thing, how it's just the map of it. It's the Texas, then Colorado, then Wyoming, then Montana. Now it's
right. So how did they get? Yeah. So the question is, how did they get to Texas to Colorado, or Nevada to Colorado, or Wyoming and Montana?
Why'd they skip over Oklahoma?
How?
Yeah.
So they flew.
Well, they walked. I'm sure. There's nothing much in the.
So they had to go to Oklahoma.
Yeah, well, they'd have
That's the point.
To get. Yeah, there's that little panhandle there. There's nothing there though. They probably just wandered
but
through.
From Colorado to Nevada, and then they skipped Utah and Idaho.
Well, yeah, I don't get the Idaho one. Utah, I mean, they ain't gonna work there.
Yeah, but the point of it is not that it's gonna work or it's not gonna work. The point of it is how.
How did they skip? Yeah, how is no one there? Or
how are they skipping states? How are they getting from Nevada to Wyoming?
That's a great question, actually. Yeah, like without touching Utah and Idaho.
Yes.
So are they they're either in those states and it just hasn't been caught yet?
Yeah.
And if they're not, then you're raising a great point. Why aren't they in those states?
And are they flying? Are they literally able to get on an airplane?
I doubt it. I'm sure they just drive through and for whatever. So assume, okay, there's two routes of thoughts. One, we're going to just assume they're not in those states. So that means there's some kind of pre-planned foresight from higher ups in the organization saying that these states aren't worth targeting and these other ones are. So they transport them through those states to get to the desirable ones for whatever reason. Or flip side of that, they are there and they just haven't been caught and notified in this system yet.
So basically, Idaho might not have as much money in their ATMs.
Apparently, compared to West Fargo, for whatever reason. I guess the Wells, they must have thought because the bank's named Wells Fargo, it must.
They probably thought it was Wells Fargo.
Exactly, because it's West. They're like, this must be the head bank. This is where all the money's at.
Dude, we have some terrible thoughts this morning.
They're illegal immigrants in a gang, allegedly. And if that is true, I feel like they have every right to be deserved to be made fun of.
Okay, that's Kyler's hot take on a day when no hot take was
There
necessary.
you go.
Thank you for watching this episode of Indie Talk. It was a little bit different than normal.
We got off to a late
Perhaps
start.
we apologize for that. I don't know.
If you like this style, for nothing.
I'll be honest though. If we can get Kyler to be serious, I'll be honest. I do, like, long term, think that Indie Talk can turn into something where we go and we create a list of some of the top articles going on, and we kind of go through there and give some thoughts on them.
Yeah, generally, I mean, it was a little more disorganized than maybe it could have been, but I like how we played today out. We just kind of went over some top headlines.
So if you like this as the viewer, let us know. Or if you like it where we're more, like the last few weeks have been, where we've been more into topics and maybe deep diving them more.
And we'll have that eventually.
It'll have to happen,
especially if we have guests on or something.
And during legislative session, it'll have to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have many guests on Thursdays.
No, it's not. It won't be.
It's
nearly
not
as
intended for
frequent.
guests.
Yeah, that's true. It'll happen. It certainly happens if it works better for the guest. But
yeah, that's when it happens. But Tuesdays are normally our guest time. But if you like the style, let us know.
If you hate it, let us know.
Yeah, no, we want to hear it. Stuart says, "Let the deportations begin."
Pops was watching.
All right, thanks for watching, and have a great day.